Donated sperm at a clinic because he was broke. In just 2 years he donated over 690 times, averaging once a day, and walked away with $24,000 over those 2 years. Guys practically got the body of Superman. He'd kept the whole thing under wraps for years, but 20 years later, he got sued. Turns out those 690 plus donations resulted in 533 successful pregnancies, meaning he is the biological father of over 500 kids, and 142 of those kids want to know who their biological father is. So they filed a joint lawsuit demanding his identity be made public. David's mind was absolutely blown when he found out, but luckily, every donation came with a signed confidentiality agreement, so as long as he stayed out of sight, no one would ever know who he was. His lawyer handed him an envelope containing the profiles of all 142 kids. David wanted nothing to do with it, and tossed the whole thing in the trash the moment he got home. But the curiosity started eating at him. Who could resist opening 142 mystery boxes? So David randomly pulled out one profile and opened it, and his jaw dropped. This son was a professional soccer star, the exact dream David had carried since childhood. He bought a ticket, watched his son pull off jaw-dropping skills, beat defenders, and score the winning goal. David was more hyped than anyone in the stadium. He rode that high all the way home and cracked open another profile, a coffee shop barista. David walked in, ordered a coffee, and had his first conversation with his son. A little nervous, naturally, but the son came across as completely disinterested. After digging a little deeper, David learned this good-looking kid actually dreamed of being an actor, and there happened to be an audition that very day. But his boss was making him work overtime. He didn't dare take the risk. If he skipped work and bombed the audition, he'd lose his job and end up on the street. David went back to his car feeling deflated. Not all his kids were doing okay out there, and in that moment, he knew he had to do something. He walked back into the cafe and tossed the son his car keys, told him to go chase that audition, and offered to cover his shift. The son was confused, but something about the guy felt strangely trustworthy. He grabbed the keys and headed off. The moment he left, the manager showed up, and because he'd abandoned his post, the son lost his job. David felt terrible, convinced he'd done more harm than good. He waited outside, unsure how to explain himself, but his son came back with good news. He got the part. His acting career was officially beginning. That unexpected moment of joy pulled David in completely. He decided he would meet all his kids as a stranger. If they were doing fine, he'd keep his distance and never interfere. But if they were struggling, he'd quietly step in and help however he could. His kids were spread across every walk of life. A lifeguard, a nail technician, a tour guide, a model, a street performer. And thanks to his genetics, they were all remarkably good-looking across the board. David began quietly watching over them one by one. When his model daughter was walking around in a revealing outfit and attracting the wrong kind of attention, he followed along and called out every creep in sight. His lifeguard son had gone so long without anyone actually drowning that he looked completely pointless on the job. So David fake drowned just to give the kid a moment to shine. His street performer son wasn't drawing much of a crowd, so David became his #1 fan, hyping up the energy and getting passers-by to toss in more coins. To boost his nail technician daughter's business, he walked in pretending to be gay and asked for a full glamorous set. His tour guide son had no tourists, so David showed up as a one-man audience and visited the same attraction over and over just to pad the numbers. The son was genuinely creeped out, convinced this weird older guy had a thing for him. Then one time, while posing as a delivery driver to drop off a pizza to one of his daughters, David found her convulsing from a drug overdose. He got her to the hospital just in time and saved her life. But now she was facing being sent to rehab. She begged David to pretend to be her father and sign the forms so she wouldn't be committed. She'd only just started using and wasn't addicted yet. She promised she'd show up to work on time and never touch it again. Early the next morning, time ticked by and she was nowhere to be seen. David started to second guess himself, but then she showed up right on time.